Today, my dad's gonna show us how a master Chinese chef cooks
煎牛扒
pan-fried steak. I grew up eating this and it's literally the best steak I've ever had. So get ready because this video is packed with simple tips and techniques you can use to level up your cooking right away. Starting with how to prepare a steak for maximum tenderness.
我今日咧用呢個係紐約士的嚟嘅。大家揀士的呢個時候咧，睇下佢中間有啲白色嗰啲，呢隻士的咧就煎熟咗之後咧，佢就唔會太硬。在未煎之前咧，我就將佢過一過水佢，俾水過過，嚟過水佢，咁你咪即係放心啲咯，係咪叫做話洗過咯，係嘛？呢個都係一樣，嚟過水佢。
My dad briefly rinses the steak just to wash off any debris on the outside. Then we'll discard the water.
我哋洗完之後咧，我哋要俾啲調放紙吸翻乾佢嚇，咁煎咗上嚟咧，佢就啲水就唔會周圍咁飛啦嚇，吸乾佢，咁吸乾水佢嚇。
We'll use paper towels to dry each steak as much as we can so it can better take on the seasoning we'll add later.
如果你唔洗咧，都要俾條紙巾索翻乾水佢。
Curtis from Patreon asks, what is the best cut of beef on a budget?
慳錢咪得我賣平價嗰時賣。
但係邊部分啊？
其實度都冇乜所謂㗎啦。如果你係買啲，不過你買嗰啲差啲嘅牛肉咧，你好似我咁樣啊，呢個刀背，嗰啲炒牛肉都得㗎。炒牛肉嗰啲，除咗肉眼嗰啲，你切可以切薄啲唔得。 就唔好切咁厚，兩邊飲啲粉咁煎佢。
你點樣揀啊？
跟中間咧有啲肥白色嘅，有啲白色嘅。如果冇完全冇白色嘅入邊嗰啲，就啲肥切的咧就會好韌咯。同埋嘅時候呢層皮呢層係少啲嘅，少啲咪冇咁重咯。食嘅時候唔會食呢啲啦嘛，係冇咁就咪少啲錢咯。買時得啦，你鋥落去嚿肉彈翻起上嚟，嗱，咁就新鮮啦。
如果有洪水咧，
有水嘅啦，即係話佢擺出嚟擺咗好耐啦。
但係呢個冇，
呢個冇水，即係佢啱啱攞出嚟，啱啱攞出嚟咪冇水咯。呢個時候咧，嗰個邊嗰行咧就硬嘅，煎熟咧都唔食得到噶啦。所以咧就切咗佢，唔好要。嗱，呢個唔好要。
Here we'll cut off most of the outer band of fat.
嗱，呢個係硬嘅，所以呢個咧就唔好要啦。
If you prefer a fattier steak, you can definitely choose to keep more of the fat here. My dad will repeat the fat trimming with the second steak. If you want to learn how to cut twice as fast and prevent injuries, we have a free 6-minute video lesson for you. Click the link in our description or scan the QR code to access it for free.
將個部分咧，嗱，煎時的之前咧，鬆一鬆佢，鬆佢煎熟之後咧，佢就唔會咁實㗎啦。仲有一個咧，呢個邊咧，你可以咁輕輕改一改佢。
We'll score down the length of the fatty edge.
咁咧煎上嚟佢就唔會縮埋嗰度噶啦你想將個咩咧？用個刀背咁鬆一鬆佢，咁鬆佢將佢啲紋咧、啲肉紋咧會鬆啲，咁煎到食上嚟咧佢就唔會咁硬，唔會咁硬噶啦
We'll use the back of the cleaver to pound the steak on both sides and at multiple angles.
上上嚟嗱，再掹一掹佢，咁鬆一鬆佢就得啦。嗱，咁樣掹鬆一鬆佢將佢啲肉鬆啲。
如果你煮成塊咧，會唔會加蘇打粉啊？
如果你係要個時間長啲，你就可以呢啲都唔需要噶啦，呢啲唔需要，啲曳啲牛肉咧你係要啦。
即係平啲牛肉咧，唔好講曳咯。
平啲牛肉。嗱呢塊一樣係咁，邊度呢個邊係比較硬啲嘅。
Here we'll repeat the scoring of the fatty edge and the tenderizing with the second steak. Be sure not to pound so hard that the steak completely loses its shape.
係嘛，我鬆啲啦，係嘛，咁鬆咗佢。好之後咧，就做咩咧？落少少味上去，醃佢。首先落少少鹽，唔使好多，係咁俾少鹽花上去，就反轉佢。
We'll add roughly half a teaspoon of salt total to both sides of the steaks.
同埋呢個啲鹽咧。 等佢熟去吸面上嗰啲水分，咗之後咧，我再俾蒜子鹽。
We'll do the same with half a teaspoon of garlic salt.
撳曬佢，撳一撳佢。
My dad likes to press the seasoning into the meat to make it stick and absorb better.
盡量整勻啲就得㗎啦。咁樣醃佢。仲有一個咧，嗰啲黑胡椒粉、白胡椒粉，你誒中意白胡椒粉、黑胡椒粉都冇乜所謂。
Now we'll repeat with half a teaspoon of black pepper.
做完呢個步驟之後咧，俾少少蠔油搽上個面，咁嘅味咧更加鮮啦。呢個湯匙嘅蠔油輕輕搽一浸上去，輕輕咁搽勻佢。
Now we'll spread on the oyster sauce, which will enhance the umami flavor of the meat.
呢啲蠔油唔係好鹹，佢鹹中帶甜，所以係比較啱嘅。嗱，反轉佢喺度。
We'll make sure to lather both sides of the steaks. My dad uses his hand to spread it, but you could use a basting brush if you prefer. We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlau.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home.
做完呢個步驟之後咧，用啲生粉輕輕嘅薄嘅喺生粉，呢兩個湯匙就好啦，唔使太多，輕輕咁薄一薄佢，冧佢咧，煎咗上嚟，佢會香啲，同埋佢可以將嚿肉封住佢，煎嘅時候唔好佢啲飆晒啲汁出嚟，係咁樣冧就得啦。
We'll lightly coat both sides of both steaks with cornstarch to give us an aromatic crust and to lock in the juices of the meat.
咁樣煎起上嚟咧，個面上會脆啲。好啦，擺喺度。OK， 而家換個斬板，切啲洋葱，切好少洋葱夠噶啦。兩個安士都 OK 噶啦。
First, we'll cut the yellow onion into strips, then do the same with the red onion. This is subtle, but when my dad cuts onions into strips, he cuts along the grain, or top to root, to help the strips stay intact. If you cut against the grain, not only will the strips fall apart more easily, but you'll also be more likely to cry as you'll be breaking more cell walls by cutting in this way.
切啲紅嘅嗰啲卡乸，好多人咧就直成咁切落去嘅。我嘅方法就俾個刀睇住呢個刀尖嗱喺度。咁樣將呢個心挖咗出嚟，切咗上嚟嗰啲，佢咪容易散啲咯。
Now we'll trim off the other end of the red onion, peel it, and cut it.
都係切絲，植物佢唔會容易係斷咗，佢橫紋啦，佢咪喺中間佢咪碎晒咯。好啦，夠啦，材料備好晒，牛肉菠蘿剪好晒，嗱而家開始煎牛扒，開大火。我將呢啲豆擺上microwave 2分鐘，冚住蓋，一定要冚住。
While heating the pan, we'll microwave the green beans covered for 2 to 3 minutes.
好啦，而家閂翻慢火佢，俾2個茶匙嘅油，少少一次，大一次少少油先，攞開佢。我咧就首先煎個邊先。
Using tongs, we'll sear the edges of the steak first, rotating to make sure the whole edge is browned.
係嘛？呢個邊有煎熟啦。
We'll take about a minute to cook the edges.
點解煎嘅邊啊？
如果你直情你唔煎個邊，咁咪兜個邊嗰時你反轉嘅，淨係煎兩邊，你個邊咪煎唔到咯，係嘛？因為夾一夾住先得。如果唔係咧，你煎唔到嘅啫，係嘛？好啦，咁樣擺翻佢落嚟，呢個一樣。
We'll repeat the edge searing step with the second steak.
第一次你俾好咗啦，煎嘅面就擺開佢，
Then we'll lay it flat like the other steak.
加多少少油上去嚇，加多少少油上去。好啦，而家開始煎，中火先。呢個叉咁撳一撳佢呢個肉，因為煎上嚟啲肉會收縮，你咪將佢撳平咗佢，將個肉撳平咗佢，一定喺個底嗰度嚇。
We'll press down and rotate the steaks so they cook more evenly.
喐佢，咁轉一轉啊，將個溫度勻勻啲。
After about 2 minutes of searing the first steak, we'll flip it.
嗱，睇到啊，已經開始變色啦。嗱，呢度咧都係一樣，反轉佢，
We'll also flip the second steak.
中火得㗎啦，喐佢，轉一轉個位置。煎扒嘅時候咧，睇你做幾成熟，你自己知道。咁樣呢個咧，呢度嘅腍咧，佢都係3成咁上下嘅。
After another minute and a half, we'll flip them again.
個反呢邊，就反翻佢。好啦，呢個反佢，係咯。
We'll cook for another 2 minutes, then flip again.
再反埋一次就得㗎啦。嗱，啲汁而家得啦，啲汁出嚟啦。OK， 你6成熟咁上下啦，擺上去啦，一陣間佢就熟透啲㗎啦，到7成咁上下，睇到啦。
After a final minute, we can remove the steaks.
新火，喺呢度啫。
As a quick summary, we're going to sear the edges of the steak for roughly a minute, then we'll lay it flat. We'll let it cook for 1.5 to 2 minutes, then flip. Then another 1.5 to 2 minutes and flip. We'll repeat one more time, then take it out. So that's about 2 minutes each side, flipping 3 times, 8 minutes total. Of course, don't just blindly follow our times here. Pay attention to the browning and doneness of the steak so it doesn't overcook. In general, you shouldn't need to go higher than medium heat or the crust will likely burn.
如果你想冇咁熟，你係咪真係要？
你要睇住佢冇咁熟嘅，你要睇住佢追下佢。嗱呢個咧就最好噶啦，嗰啲少粉紅色嘅。有啲人咧就嫌佢熟得滯啦，都係我哋就咁樣食就啱噶啦。咁樣食嗰又唔韌，唔韌嘅，嘛？
My dad prefers to cook his steak until it's medium well, with just a hint of pink in the center. In Cantonese cooking, it's more common to cook steaks or cutlets to this level rather than medium or medium rare like most Western steak lovers. To keep the steak tender at medium well, he tenderizes it with a cleaver and coats it in cornstarch to keep the juices in. The advantage of this method is that you can use cheaper, leaner cuts of beef and still get a relatively tender bite. Of course, you can cook the steak for less time to your preferred level of doneness based on these internal temperatures, keeping in mind that carryover cooking will continue raising the temperature by about 5 degrees Fahrenheit after you're done. We'll take out the other steak and let them rest while we cook the aromatics.
將啲洋葱擺落嚟，唔使俾油噶啦，開翻火佢。
With the heat on medium, we'll start to cook the onions. Don't forget to get the green beans from the microwave.
起埋啲豆仔，啲豆仔就熟噶啦。
We'll add the green beans to the onions and stir fry them for about a minute, tossing if you're able to. Then we can add some salt.
半個茶匙都夠啦。新火，呢隻個鑊夠熱啦。
With the heat off, we'll stir fry for another 30 to 40 seconds with the residual heat of the pan, then we'll take out the green beans.
攪上嚟。而家咧，啲洋葱咧就擺尾扒上去，俾啲汁索一索佢，啲汁索一索嗰啲洋葱，咁就正啦。
We'll move the steak around a bit, letting the juices soak into the onions.
咁啲洋葱好食啦，阿 Kit 最中意食洋葱。好啦，而家教識佢就係定一定先，等佢凍一凍，撇一撇先就切嚇，唔好即刻切喎，即刻切咧啲汁就會流晒出嚟咯。
We'll take out the steaks and set them aside to rest. Now we'll plate the onions. If you're serving individually, you can plate the whole steak like so.
擺上嚟有成有2分鐘可以切得到啦。而家切。
If you're serving family style, we'll first slice the steak into thin strips after letting it rest.
啱好，中間勾有少少紅色，就啱好啦，係7、8成熟。嗱，試下先。呢個係試下先。咩啊？OK。
So good.
OK 得。切到之後咧，就將個扒擺上嚟咯。
Now we can plate our sliced steak and serve it to our family.
Hello， 朋友們，煎牛扒做好咗啦，希望大家中意。妹妹同都係落嚟吃牛扒咯。
Oh my gosh.
Why put your feet down？
我們就合拍成合拍nữa.
Okay, kind of hard for Dad to do his job right now.
YouTube thinks you'll like this recipe next. Let's see if they're right. A huge thank you to our walk stars and all of our chefs in the CANTO Cooking Club.